Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Massive Iron Live. I am in Lexington, Kentucky this morning. I'm about to go on a 10-mile hike. Going to do a quick 30-minute live video. Trying to get to 30 minutes. If you guys have some good questions, I'll run a little bit longer. I'm going to wait for YouTube to catch up a little bit with notifications, wait for some people to drop on. If you guys are interested, those of you guys that are tuning in late, and you're sick of crappy protein bars, and this is not a commercial, this is what we eat. These are outright bars, they're all natural, 5 ingredients, can't beat them. All right, how's everybody doing? Who we got today? Give me a shout out, let me know who you are, where you're from. I'll be on for about only 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes max. We're gonna go out and hit a 10-minute hike. Again, I am in Lexington, Kentucky this morning. We are, what's going on, Rue? Rue says, well done on the Men's Health article. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. It got onto the front page of MSNBC and just absolutely blew up my DM. So, what's going on, Thaddeus? Hope everything is going well with you and Fiona. It is. We went to a castle last night. We went to an authentic Irish. We had an authentic Irish meal, and we had some Irish music, some Irish dancing. We had a good time, even though I'm Scottish. Let's see. Joel Clear, morning. Have you ever made a homemade protein bar? I've tried, and I love to cook, but I have to be honest with you, I've not made one yet that I actually look forward to eating. They just suck. These things right here, the outright bars, peanut butter, chocolate chips. They have like 5 ingredients: whey protein, honey, that sort of thing. They taste absolutely amazing, and I can't really see replacing those. What's going on, Gene from Frankfort, Indiana? Brian. Brian is tuning in from Orchard Park, New York. Not even sure what part of New York that is. We go up near Buffalo quite a bit. I got a friend up there, and we do some hiking up there and hanging out. So let me know if that is close to Buffalo. What's going on, Sisyphus from Indiana? John Williams. Can't be on long waiting to go in for a massage. Hope your massage has a nice, happy ending. That was just a joke. Don't hold it against me. What's going on, Thomas from Georgetown? Thomas is down here in Kentucky with us. Brian says, yes, it's near Buffalo. Next time we're up there, keep an eye out. We'll probably keep an eye out on my lives. You'll probably see one the next time we're going up. What's going on, Christopher from England? Just a reminder, I'm on every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Mark it on your calendar. Please come back. If you don't subscribe to my channel, please do. If you don't, wait, which way is a notification? Sign up for notifications so you know when my videos go up. Let's see, only about 10 miles, if that's not bad at all. Let's see, Austin is from Alabama. Bob from Chicago. Sebastian from Austria. Post up your question, guys. Any questions on training, nutrition, supplementation, off topic, just general mental strength, mental health stuff, anything. Post it up. I have about half an hour, 40 minutes, so I'll be glad to help. What's going on, Joseph? John Williams says, congratulations on the article. Great things ahead for you. Just taking it one step at a time, and thank you. I appreciate it. William is from Pennsylvania. He's 47 and has been lifting consistently for 6 months. Is it normal getting sore still at this time? Absolutely. One of the things with soreness is that, we still get sore. We did 3 workouts this week. We don't get debilitating soreness, and it does improve. The degree of soreness improves a little bit over time. But we're running an upper lower right now. We did 2 upper workouts this week and a lower workout, and we're definitely a little bit sore. Soreness is something you have to get used to. Soreness is something you have to manage. You also have to figure out if you're doing too much volume or enough volume, or you're training properly. So learning your routine, learning to manage your routine and refine your routine is very important. I can't speak this morning. I haven't had coffee yet. We're in an Airbnb and they got a coffee maker, but the on-off switch is broke. So we set the thing up, went to hit the on-off switch, and oh no, I'm gonna be doing a live video without caffeine. Sisyphus, do you have any opinions on joint pain relief cream like BioFreeze? I didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know there was joint pain relief cream. I've used cream, heats and stuff like that for muscles. I'm not, something like BioFreeze, something that is going to take away pain or numb pain. I see no downside to that if the pain is really, really bad. Um, obviously, if you have bad joint pain, you need to see a doctor. That's a given. But if you need to do some pain management, I would just do your research on Amazon, see what it's like. If you have pain, you need to manage it. Sharp pain or annoying pain, something that would numb that pain is certainly worth considering. Let's see. Kern, Jeremiah, congratulations on the article. Thank you. And I appreciate it. If you guys see my camera focusing and coming in and out of focus, every time I scroll on my screen, I touch the screen, it tries to focus, which is a real annoyance. So I apologize for that. But you guys didn't want to see me in 4D anyway. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Riley. Thomas from Seattle. Tested my overhead press and hit 240. Want to tell somebody that is really, really good. That's very, very strong. The most I've ever gotten to front or behind the neck was 315, and I was pretty darn proud of that. Anybody that gets over 225 on overhead press is doing really, really good because, a lot of guys don't take the overhead press seriously. They don't take their shoulder training seriously. And I respect anybody that just gets after it, grabs their testicles, drags them into the gym, those big juicy balls, drags them into the gym and just does some heavy overhead pressing. Let's see, what do we got here? Post up your questions, guys. Danielle Khan from Singapore, my favorite Singapore follower. How's it going, Danielle? How do you beat the fear of failure before starting a business? Well, you can reduce the fear of failure by planning. There are a lot of, and by studying marketing and branding, you have to know things in business like what is your point of differentiation? I want you to remember what I just said. What differentiates you from the competition? Like in the supplement industry, somebody could say, we have science-based, blah, blah, blah. Well, that doesn't differentiate you from the competition because everybody says the same crap. If you're a personal trainer and you say, well, I'm very strong and I look very sexy, everybody does. So get over it. That's not a point of differentiation. What is your point of differentiation? You need to spend some time with you and Jesus figuring that crap out. You also need to not get in over your head and spend a lot of money. We both started businesses this year. They're doing very, very well. But there are many things we want for our business, but we have to wait until we earn that. So study marketing, study branding, have a point of differentiation, have a damn good website, get creative with products and services, think outside the box, and that's about it. Sorry for the long rant. What's going on, William Southern? If you guys have questions, post them up. I'll be on for about half an hour this morning. Christopher May, with all the buzz about keto diets over the past few months, what's your thoughts on people following through a keto diet? If you want to try one, go ahead. The buzz is bullshit. Just understand that. The buzz is nonsense. It's bullshit. Any hype regarding the keto diet is bullshit. It's not superior to any other diet. Calorie restriction is important. Eating whole foods is important. Therefore, a keto diet that is done with calorie restriction will serve you well, but it is not magic. If you would prefer to eat that way, then eat that way. I mean, bacon and beef and eggs, that's good stuff, right? I can appreciate that a lot. But just understand, one of the biggest mistakes people make with the keto diet is they think they can eat whatever the freak they want, and because it's keto, they'll lose weight. And that is the biggest joke in the industry right now. You cannot do that. The biggest thing I see in my Instagram feed is women. I see their feeds scrolling by, and they're eating like 800, 900 calorie breakfasts for keto. And like, whoa, girl, all you're gonna do with that keto diet is build a big fat PHAT booty. You're driving the wrong way down the road. You know what I'm saying? So try it if you like it. Just understand it's not magic, and you have to have a calorie restriction. All right, Terry Williams. I look forward to this every Saturday. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate your support. It means a lot. Have you ever overtrained? I will tell you, there are different. Overtraining is a very complex thing, and it's a very hard thing to do. We have to understand there are different systems in the body, right? We have our central nervous system. We have our endocrine system. We have our ability to recover. We have our immune system. We have our joints, tendons, ligaments. They all repair, recover. They all take beatings at different levels, right? People like to oversimplify the human body, like, overtraining just is muscular, which is nonsense. You can beat your body up or overreach for a very long period of time and get there. But honestly, there was really only one time where I went into squat. And at this time, I was squatting well over 500 multiple times a week for multiple reps. I was squatting anywhere between 500 to 640 on any given day. That was at my strongest. I went in one day, put the bar on my back, did 135, and literally said, "Holy shit." It felt like I had 1,000 pounds on my back. My central nervous system, for whatever reason, was saying, "Stop, I need a break." So regardless of overtraining, does it exist? Does it not exist? The key thing that all of us need to remember is to listen to our body. Listen to your body. There'll be days where you're just in a holding pattern where you can only do so much. That is okay. That's part of the journey. Anybody that thinks that's not part of the journey is a fool. There's never going to be a smooth, flat, consistent road in training. That's not reality. And anybody that thinks it's reality needs to unwind that reality and get in the real reality. So, all right, post up your questions, guys. Let's see. Thomas is 43. Joel said, how to prevent overtraining. Really the only way you're going to overtrain is if you do something, you're in the gym like 5 hours a day and then you're like running 5 hours a day. You're not going to overtrain. Most people have a far higher chance of overworking movement patterns, doing too much bench and beating up their joints, doing too many squats and beating up their knees. Overworking movement patterns, injuries related to them are a far greater concern for most lifters. William, will powerlifting and or lifting heavy eventually wear down your joints and it is bad long term? Well, William, you need to understand that's a very good question. And to process that, we need to understand degrees of strength. There are people like Ronnie Coleman, people like the strongman competitors that are taking that have or currently are taking an incredible amount of drugs, pushing their bodies to do ridiculous things. And everybody has a right to beat up their body, whether it's with alcohol or lifting or whatever. So I'm not judging, but there's that super uber level, right, of those guys. And then you have the next level down. And then you have like me, who was squatting like 600 routinely, deadlifting well over 600 routinely, benching close to 400 routinely. I feel absolutely fine. I feel like and I've been doing this for 33 years. I feel like almost like where I was when I was 18. Obviously, I can't do some of the things I could do when I was 18, like grab my hand. I used to be able to touch my hands behind my back and stuff like that, but you have to be reasonable. Getting strong, it's going to impact everybody differently, but you have to be reasonable. At some point, if you're not powerlifting, you need to get to a certain strength level and just be okay with maintaining that. If the only thing you ever got to was squats for 315 by 3 sets of 10, bench press 225 by 5 sets of 10, stuff like that, you would pack on plenty of muscle mass. You could ride that out literally the rest of your life. Everybody's going to pick up some nagging injuries from physical movement, regardless of what kind it is. That's reality. That's not a reason to avoid doing it, though. The opposite, sending your booty on on the couch or on the bed like Fiona over here, that's where you get in trouble. But I'm sitting too, so I'm not judging.
What do you mean trouble for sitting on the bed?
Yeah, people who just sit all day. All right.
Ah,
Jay Haynes, 247, shoulders. Even at proper 45-degree elbows. Even at proper 45-degree elbows, any help? I'm not really sure what the question is, Jay Haynes. Even at proper 45-degree elbows, any help? Don't know what that means. Maybe you could clarify. Maybe I missed something. If I did, I apologize. Just a note, if I miss your question, you can send me a DM over on Instagram at Ben the Barman, at Ben the Barman, at Ben the Barman. I answer every question. If you want to get beyond physical and mental strength, or you want to get beyond physical strength and you want to get more whole improvement, self-improvement, check out my group Super Living Today on Facebook. I also have a new second channel called Super Living where I'm doing a podcast. It is on YouTube, so check that out as well. Let's see, Bob Hatcher. I'm 60 and getting back in shape. I notice my joints get more sore than when I was younger. Your thoughts? My only thoughts, Bob, is that you're old. Sorry, Bob. With all due respect, it just is what it is. If you have joint issues, you just have to be really smart about the physical exercise you do. Maybe you need to, do fewer sets of heavy work. Maybe you need to start incorporating some body weight work. Depending on your weight, you might need to lose some weight as well. Now, one of the biggest things for folks that have joint issues is that if they lose a little bit of weight, they feel better. I'm not sure what your case is, Bob, or where your weight is, but maybe you could post up your weight. Maybe just losing 20 to 30 pounds, it'll really help most anybody, unless you're at a normal weight. So that's something to consider as well. Bartowski, is doing volume on deadlifts a waste of time? Good question. When it comes to heavier weight, I don't see a lot of value in doing volume. What you doing? The dog's over there, or the dog's over there torturing her. When it comes to heavier weight, I don't believe in a lot of volume. Over 77.5%, over 80%. Get your reps in, 15 to 20 reps a week. But when you're doing lighter weight, say 75% and under, volume work can be really good on the deadlift. It can be excellent, especially if you're working in the, say 65 to 72.5% range. Somewhere around those are generic numbers, but you can do a lot of volume in the deadlift, and it's like manual labor. If you're in that zone and that level and doing a lot of volume, you're going to get stronger at that lift with volume. So it's not something I would do every week. I might cycle volume every other week. You could cycle between a heavier week, say where you're pulling between 80 to 85%, and then drop down and do a lighter week where you're pulling, say, 65 to 70% for a lot more volume. So it can be beneficial, absolutely. Let's see, Nikki Bird, are warm-up sets needed before heavy lifting? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Anybody that tells you they are not is an idiot and a fool. What we were trying to do during a warm-up, there's several, and we're going to get to a warm-up set, but there's several things you need to warm up before you start lifting. The first thing is to bring your body temperature up a little bit, and that can be from 5 minutes on the treadmill or from just slapping plates, moving around the gym, slapping plates on your bar during your warm-up sets. When I am deadlifting over 600 pounds, I have like 7 warm-up sets, and just the 20-minute, 25-minute process of moving around the gym and slapping on plates, my body temperature is warm. Now, the biggest thing you need to focus on is warming up your central nervous system. That is where warm-up sets come into play. You need to encourage, especially when you are getting stronger, you can't just go into the gym with a cold central nervous system and just start yanking at full weight. What happens is the central nervous system needs to be awakened or stimulated or given a reason to wake up. If not, you're trying to pull a normal weight with a central nervous system that is in some sort of a deficit. It's not ready to recruit a maximum amount of muscle fibers because it doesn't know what's coming, and that is a recipe for injury. What we want to do with warm-up sets is slowly ramp the weight while decreasing the reps and warm up or activate our central nervous system, give it a reason to recruit more muscle fibers. So you need warm-up sets for that reason alone. And ramping warm-up sets also allow you to assess how your body is feeling on any given day. How am I feeling today? Oh, something's wrong. Maybe I need to chill at 405 deadlifts. So there's value in that as well. Anybody that tells you there isn't value or you should never do a warm-up set is an idiot, and you should never go back to their channel. Let's see, Thomas. Thoughts on fasting and muscle building, specifically 16-8 and 24 fast. Absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. I fasted for 5 years, strict intermittent fasting, and I did modified fasting where I brought in protein during, I call it modified fasting. I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but I brought in more protein during the underfeeding window. It is certainly possible. You have to be very particular and make sure you get in your calories and your protein. One thing I will say personally, and this is a caveat, and this is just an opinion, I am skeptical personally that it is the best way to build muscle. When I say that, that means maybe 5 to 10% slower. This is a guesstimate. This is just an opinion. But the muscle building process is a specific goal where you're trying to build muscle. It's a little bit different than strength. And when you are fasting for an extended period of time, say 20 hours, it's almost, if you think about it just, from a rational standpoint, it almost seems like that goal is in conflict with the muscle building goal. So you can certainly do it. I speculate that it might slow your rate 5 to 10%. I don't know. I'm just guessing. There's probably plenty of studies out there that disagree with me. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself why you're fasting, what your primary goal is, and you have to go out and experiment yourself. And you have to get very scientific, don't guess. Take your measurements, take your arm measurements, your leg measurements every year, every month, your caliper readings every month. Get scientific, listen to your body. Never stick to a program. Never stick to a program when your body is asking you for changes. So I hope that helps. Johnny Syndicate. What's your take on cycling 5x5, 8x8, and 10x10 with strong lift protocol with more squat work? No, you do not need to squat 3 times a week. No. Especially not on that. You're going to kill yourself. If you're going to do that type of squat volume, it has to be once a week. It has to be. If not, you're going to get some overuse injuries. When you get strong, you're going to beat the living heck out of your body. It's going to zap a lot of your energy and recovery from your other movements. And strong lift on the average is not a well-rounded muscle building program. It is a minimal program. And that aside, doing squatting 3 times a week with those types of reps is absolutely foolish in my opinion. All right, let's see. Bob, your thoughts on soy protein? I've tried pea protein. Do not like it. It's gritty. That's just a personal opinion. Soy protein is going to be fine. Obviously, people get all bent out of shape about soy, but having 1 or 2 scoops a day isn't going to impact anything. If you're in good health and taking care of your body, it'll be absolutely fine. So if that is what you need for your diet, and you like the taste of it, and just go ahead and use it. Absolutely. Jed, Canonizado. Sorry, Jed. How do you incorporate strongman training to a sport like basketball or football? That is a very good question. I assume you're talking about in season. If you're ramping up for your season in basketball or football, honestly, I would recommend not doing strongman training during that time when you're ramping up for the season. When you're in season, the goal of that sport is to be at your peak performance level. I would not recommend strongman training during that time. During the off season, then that's your time to do some hypertrophy strength work and strongman work. I know guys that basically do 3 days a week muscle building, hypertrophy, strength training work, and then on Saturday they do strongman work. So if you're dead set on doing strongman work during the season of a sport, do it on a Saturday where you're just doing strongman stuff on a Saturday. That's my best recommendation. Let's see, Cujo 2K12. How many reps volume per set do you suggest for training back through rows and lat pull downs? Good question. Rows, it depends on the variation. I like volume for back work because the back, it just seems to me personally to respond better to volume. On barbell rows, I like 8 to 10. On dumbbell rows, I like a lot of volume on dumbbell rows because you have to switch back between right and left and right and left and right and left and right and left. I would rather do 2 to 3 sets of 15 to 20 on dumbbell rows and do them with some heavy ass weight. Just my opinion. For other lifts, seated cable rows, lat pull downs, I generally don't like to go below 10, to be honest with you. 10 to 12 is kind of a sweet spot. Get a good amount of volume in, try to progress. That's just my opinion. When I get down to like 8 rep sets on seated cable rows or lat pull downs, I always feel like the last 2 reps are sloppy, or as my wife would say, sloppy jalopy. Can you say sloppy jalopy for us?
Sloppy jalopy.
Sloppy jalopy. How do you say that in Australia?
Sloppy jalopy.
Yep. Let's see. Derek, how would you recommend adding running for a 1.5 mile PT test around 3 times a week into a legs push-pull? No, don't avoid running because you're worried about it impacting your leg training. Okay, don't do that at all. In fact, you're talking to a guy that ran a trail marathon while squatting close to over 500 pounds. Your body will adapt. Just be smart about it. Just don't run too much. I would probably recommend running after your workouts if you can. Or you want to leave a couple days between your last running session and your leg session. So if your leg session is on Friday, for example, your best bet would be to run after legs on Friday night, then maybe run again on Sunday, and then maybe run again on Tuesday, and then you have all of Wednesday, all of Thursday, all of Friday. You have 3 days to recover. So if you plan it properly, it's going to be absolutely fine. But never remove fitness. Never remove fitness from the equation just for 1 extra gram of muscle building. First of all, it's a lie that you won't maximize your muscle building if you do it properly. Second of all, don't sacrifice your health and fitness for some image in the mirror. Do both of them, and do both of them well. James T, could you do pull-ups and or chin-ups when you were your strongest? I can do chin-ups easier than pull-ups. Pull-ups I always have sucked at. When I was young, I was pretty good at them. I would do weighted pull-ups and I could do sets of 10 pretty easily. But the thing is, like, when I got up in weight, I stopped doing them. And now I'm not exactly a light flower, even though, I lost weight. I'm not exactly a light little hummingbird. I think I can do like 4 per set. Nothing great. I don't do them a lot. One of these days, when I get down to my goal weight, I'll probably see what I can do at them because, I deserve to see what I'm capable of. Chin-ups for me are a lot easier, and so are neutral grip chin-ups. We do those at the gym occasionally. Let's see. Hector Torres, how do you feel about the Texas method? Texas method is basically an intermediate-ish, correct me if I'm wrong, strength training program. It has a form of periodization built into it. And it's certainly worth trying. I've seen a lot of guys make good progress on the Texas method. If your main goal is strength, definitely give it a try. I would probably personally add in a few different assistance exercises. Thaddeus, I do fasting, aka I started skipping breakfast. It works for me, but it may not work for the next guy. MC Adams, how do you train around medial epicondylitis, golfer's elbow? I have been wearing VersaGrips, no straight bar curls. How do you train around them? Well, you have to kind of assess what exercises are annoying them. Now, when you got those VersaGrips on, make sure you're not, you can kind of relax that grip a little bit. How do you train around it? Good question. You probably need to go a little lighter for more volume for a while. So if I was doing dumbbell rows for 200 by 20 and they were killing my elbow tendonitis, I'd probably drop down and do like 120, 130, 140 for tens. I'd probably lighten the weight for a while to see if I could give it a chance to heal, or maybe just check different exercise variations. Ab Reyes, what's your morning supplement routine? Well, the biggest thing we do, usually every morning I take this sucker. It's a protein bar, but it's all natural. Probiotic. We got creatine and beta alanine in our cup board.
Covered, yes.
We eat protein every morning with a scoop of whey protein. Do we do anything else?
We have the BCAA stuff.
We have a BCA when we want some flavored water. We keep electrolyte, natural light, which is MTS electrolyte mix in our cupboard. And we keep a pre-workout, but we really don't use them much anymore because we're doing morning workouts, and usually we feel like a full bag of shit anyway. Pre-workout doesn't help.
Pre-workout for a long time.
How's it going in Greece? Jed, appreciate the answer. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Johnny Twist, any advice on keep focused and confident in yourself when doing resistance? Confidence, here's my best advice, John. Just continue the habit. A lot of times we believe we're going to wake up with motivation. I'm going to wake up with super motivation. Like tonight, it's 8 o'clock at night and I feel super motivated. I'm a super motivated guy. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, that fucking alarm clock. Motivation and confidence is usually built with repetition and habit. You start to respect yourself, dress better, take care of yourself, have good habits. A routine will build confidence. And just try to simply go into the gym and add 1 rep to each exercise every single time. If you just trust that process, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get bigger, and that confidence will come over time. What's going on, Austin? Let's see. Thaddeus, how can I go about building 41 pounds of dry muscle? You probably need to find a really good supplier of TRT. All right. Danielle, thank you. Is it okay to pull off blocks as my main pull? Yeah. I mean, when I was at my strongest, I never pulled from the floor. I would pull from 3 to 5 inches, sometimes 7 inches, depending on how I felt that day. It is okay. For most people, I recommend pulling from the floor 1 week and from 3 to 5 to 7 inches the next. Let's see. Austin Light, strength and hypertrophy, they are the same thing for most people. You don't train differently for strength and hypertrophy. Not sure what your question is. They're synergistic and the same thing until you get to the elite levels of the sport and you realize you have weaknesses in bodybuilding and you might need to train differently, or you have built a lot of strength and you decide you want to get into powerlifting, then you may need to train differently. Darcy Smith, I'm currently doing a push-pull split 6 days a week. Each session starts with a 5x5. Is it okay to be taking those sets pretty much to failure without 3 minutes? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's okay as long as your body's handling it. Certainly fine. What you really want to look at when you are doing training 6 days a week is how does my body feel? And here's the thing, if it doesn't feel okay, be willing to make changes. Maybe move from a 5x5 to a 4x5. Maybe move by 5x5 or to a 4x8 or 3x8, whatever. Just be willing to make changes if something doesn't feel right. Exoristos 79. On overhead press, for some reason, I managed to do 4 reps less than last time. So I did an additional set of 5 to compensate. Was that okay? Yeah, it's okay. If you drop that much in strength, something is not right. It could be a complete random fluke, but rarely ever do you see flukes like that. Something wasn't right. Make sure your diet's on point. Make sure your sleep is on point. Make sure your protein's on point. By that I mean consistent. Let's see. Jay Parker, you ever use smelling salts for big lifts? No. A lot of guys do it, and I respect that. I've always just been able to enter rage mode pretty darn well without it. So. Let's see. MC Adams, do you think pull-ups and chin-ups with face pulls will work the rear delt efficiently? if you have a lot of heavy ass rowing in there. People forget when it comes to look, this is an exercise for a rear delt move, right? This is an exercise for a row. You know what? They're pretty much the same thing, except the row is you're doing it with heavy weight. I don't know why people forget this. Not you in particular, but like 99% of trainers and people, like when they want to work their rear delts, all they talk about is like face pulls. Like, get your damn row strong. Get your damn row strong. Brandon H, is creatine the best supplement? Creatine is certainly the best supplement for muscle and strength. It is proven. It's not a miracle performer. It's proven. It's extensively studied, and it's inexpensive. Provides basically no downsides to anybody, and it works. Now, it works means maybe it'll give you a 1% boost, but over the course of 20 years, I'll take that boost. I'll take any boost I can get for $10 a month. John Emerson, hey, big hairy ugly dude, shout out from Vermont. John might be the only person that's ever followed my channel from Vermont. I've never even been to Vermont. Yeah, I drove through once. You mentioned BCAAs. Are they worth getting? Hotly debated topic. I'm no expert on BCAAs. I do know that we like to use them intra-workout. We like to use them on sometimes when we're on long hikes mixed with electrolytes, or when we did our trail run. Sometimes, honestly, I just like to drink them because I get tired of drinking water. I'll mix BCAAs a lot with a half scoop of pre-workout. It's like a ghetto energy drink. So when it comes to supplements, you really have to make sure you have the basics down, like creatine. You have to consider, for gut health, maybe a probiotic, whey protein powder. There's things you really need to consider ahead of BCAAs. Let's see. Tiong, can I change my workout to calisthenics-based workout to increase my athleticism? Change it to, well, you can do whatever you want. If you change your workout completely to calisthenics, it's going to make it a lot harder to build muscle. There are a lot of guys out there that do all calisthenics workouts, and they look wonderful, but you got to understand the volume of training they do. For the average individual, a mix of both is best. Rob Hay, set up my cut to lose 1 pound a week, but dropping closer to 2 pounds. Strength seems to be holding up. Should I be concerned? Strength seems to be holding up. No. Don't be concerned at all. 2 pounds a week is a reasonable amount of weight loss. If you're losing, 5 pounds a week, then I would be concerned. Let's see. Mattaville says, skip my question twice. Feels bad. I didn't even see it. I did not see it. You got to understand, guys, and I'm not trying to be hard here, but YouTube sucks. And I get this every single week. That's why I repeat, if I missed your question, post it up again. YouTube sucks. Every week I have somebody that's telling me, why are you skipping my question? And I'm not. I swear I'm not. YouTube is just not showing it. This is the first I've seen your name at all. See, Tom, would you consider Greek yogurt to be a probiotic? Absolutely. We do a couple Greek yogurts a day and a probiotic. Joe Rella, high intensity training, Mike Mentzer? No, absolutely not. Mike's a kook. That's a crappy way to train. There are things you can learn from it and apply, but no way. Bob Hatcher, cheapest protein. Don't think cheap when it comes to protein, Bob. Think cheapest quality. Head over to tigerfitness.com. Check out MTS Whey. We sell a top quality protein powder, and the flavors are amazing. And you can get them in 2 pounds. A lot of good flavors in 2 pounds. Davis, I don't feel any difference using creatine. Could it be my body or quality? Some things you can't feel a difference doesn't mean they're not working. You need to just consider that. A 1% difference or an energy boost from creatine, you might not even know you're getting it. But we know scientifically that it is doing something. So that's just something you need to process. MC Adams, Greek yogurt as a main protein source throughout the week. As a main, it's a good source of protein. There's also a lot of good reason to vary your protein sources. Get some cheap eggs. Eggs are cheap, not cheap eggs. Get some eggs. They're cheap. Eat eggs with Greek yogurt, you probably want at least 3 good quality protein sources in. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to go do a 10-mile hike with my beautiful, beautiful bride. And we are going to go kill ourselves today. I will say, if I missed any of your questions, head over to Instagram. Hit me up at Ben the Barman. I have a free first month of coaching. If you need coaching, the Berezinski says 4 times our question was skipped. Didn't skip your question. Didn't see it. Send me a DM with it on Instagram. If I missed your questions, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. I have a free first month coaching. If you're interested, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. I'll give you more details. Also, head over to my website, superlivingtoday.com. Superlivingtoday.com. Get some Massive Iron t-shirts. If you need exercise form assessment, diet assessment, all that kind of good stuff, head over there. Check out my second YouTube channel, Super Living. My podcast is on there. Check it out and subscribe to this damn channel and hit the notification bell. All right. Thanks for watching and
Stay sexy.
stay super sexy.
Sexy.
Stay super sexy. The fate of the world depends on. Come here, Pongo.
She's
Come on.
little.
Come on up here. We're gonna get some Pongo action in here. Come here, chubs. Come here, chubs. Oh, there we go. Oh, stay sexy, Pongo. Oh, I think I got.